Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today I'm going to do a little review and a build of a mini pedal board. Dario kindly sent me a new XPND pedal board. Now, I must admit, when I first thought about the idea of an expanding pedal board, I was a bit like, really? I'm just going to build a board and that's going to be it. But actually, this is exactly what I need for the time being, and I suspect it'll be useful for many of you in that there are a couple of pedals that I tend to use all the time, but I quite often want to add something else to my board quickly, particularly when I'm traveling. The fact that it folds up as well means that I could take a couple of boards off, squash it down, use it, pack the pedals separately. It'll probably fit then in my main kind of travel flight case that I use. So I think this is actually going to be a pretty cool little toy. I haven't opened it at all yet, and I'm just thinking like I should have probably cut the tape off first just to be able to get in here without completely mullering the box, because I gather with unboxing videos you don't normally just trash everything, although that's probably what normally happens for me. Is I just pull the boxes open without much care and attention. I'll try and do slightly more. There we go. Okay, so unboxing has commenced. Where's the lid? Okay, so we have some instructions here about assembly. Oh, I actually have to assemble it. Okay, well that wasn't what I was anticipating, but hey, I like a bit of DIY. There's some bolts, some not gaffer tape, what's it called? Velcro. We'll get that right in a second. Okay, so I don't mind a bit of buildy stuff. I quite like, any of you who know me will know that I like Lego, which is kind of different to this, I guess, but wow, this is actually, I'm actually going to have to do a little bit of constructing here. Okay, so I'm guessing this is then the arms. Okay, I'm done with trying to keep all of this together, it doesn't matter, right? Okay, this is the board bits. Okay. So I was expecting it to just pull out of the box, I must admit. So, okay, it's double-sided, which is kind of cool. That looks like the things that lock it into place. I don't know which way round it goes now. Let's have a look at the instructions and see how that's going to work. How difficult is that going to be? Okay, so those little clippy things go on that side. Looks like there's 4 things that have to go that way. That'll be on that side, obviously, because we want the... Okay, this doesn't look particularly tricky. Okay, so there's an Allen key and a bolt. Let's just get started. Which way around did I say it was going to go? Oh, this is this other... What's that bit going to be for? Oh, that's for this side with the expandy bit. Okay, and then that's for this side. Alrighty-o. Should we just start connecting it together then and see if I can not drop that screw there? It's going to go in there, I suspect. So yeah, the idea for me for this particular board is going to be the one that I use while I'm teaching. So the predominant thing I need that I don't have at the moment, because I've got my pedal board that I've got set up in front of me now, is a Schmidt Array SA525, I think it's called, and it's an amazing pedal board, but it's definitely overkill for my regular day-to-day guitar playing life. I tend to only use it when I'm recording, which is not so often when I'm filming, so it's a little bit redundant right now. Let me just double check that is right. There's going to be a little kind of a dumpy bit there. Okay, let me just pop this together. Come on. It doesn't look like it should be too hard, but assembly instructions. So that's part 3. Let's just twizzle this up nice, and I'm not going to do it up too tight yet until I get a bit further along with it and know exactly what's going on here. So it'd be interesting to see how long this is going to take too, I suppose, for some of you thinking about buying it. Yeah, the plan is just to put basically my Boss GT core, which I kind of use as a, if I don't want to get other pedals out and I want to get stuff going pretty quickly, I think that's a pretty amazing pedal. Like plenty of things in it that are very, very useful. And a looper. Obviously, so a looper is something that I want to get often. I've put it without the D'Addario logo at the back. Can I be bothered undoing it again? Just for the logo? No, sorry D'Addario. Okay, but it's showing then this one goes here. Oh, and then there's another. Okie dokie. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a difficult build yet, but it's got a few moving parts, this thing. Oh, come on. Let's get those screws out without ruining my nails, please. That could be a bit better. Just get a bit violent with it. A bit of violence always solves that kind of problem, hey? Okay, so I can see what's going on here. This is a clever design, actually. Okay. So these screws are going in the top part of the into the part that's staying stationary, and then the other legs are going to go in the part that pulls out. That's very clever for the stability factor there. I can see where they're going with this now. That's all good. A couple of these screws out. I don't know why it's a DIY build, actually. I would have thought that this would have been, like a robot could have done this pretty quickly, I would have thought, but hey ho. I'm sure there's a reason for that. Probably due to the expandability factor, I guess. At least that sounds like a pretty good excuse to me. Let's get this together. Probably should have got, yeah, if I wasn't doing a video I would have had the drill out by now. So I'm a bit lazy when it comes to stuff like this, being that I've got power tools that can handle it pretty quick. Oh, Ziggy, be quiet. Okay. And there's the middle leg on. A little nip up, okay. And I assume pulling them forward will enable those bits to slide out, but they're not sliding out, okay. Let's get this last bit sorted on then. Oh, I need it to slide out a little bit to be able to get that to screw on. So how do I get those bits out? If they're fully out. There we go. Again, a little bit of violence tends to go a long way. I have to put a screw in that one then, maybe. Put a screw in that, probably help me get it out. Yep, there we go. So there's a hint, if you need to get the little bit out, you can pop a screw in there. There we go. And Bob's your auntie or uncle, depending on what sort of situation you're in. Okay. Well, we're nearly there. It hasn't taken that long. I've got a couple of spacing things to put in there, it looks like, which I'll figure out squeezing in a sec. So that's just those two screws to go. Okay. 1, 2. Okie dokie. Yeah, come on. Oh, Ziggy, be quiet. One of my friends is here in the yard and he's got a dog here that's Ziggy's friend and she wants to go and play, but every time she goes out and plays she comes back filthy and I have to wash her before she comes back in the house. And I've got a busy day, so I don't want to be washing the dog today, so she's just sitting by the window with her tail wagging and occasionally giving me a look like, why aren't you letting me outside, you horrible man? That's a dog's life, eh? Okay. And we are there on those. Get them up there so that it's not wobbly. And we'll have a look at this last section. It's not taken long at all, actually. Yeah. Just knit this up now that I know what is going on with it all. It is the usual Diodario build quality that I'd expect. It's everything's nicely constructed. Everything fits together as it should. There's been no mistakes on that front at all. Come on. And that didn't take long to put together at all. Okay. So the idea here, I guess, yeah, okay, so it sits together like that. That's the smallest size that it'll be. And then there's these two little levers here, which when they're up or open, can expand. That's actually a pretty, that's a decent level of expansion. I'm always running out of camera there. So that's a pretty big change, and that is actually pretty cool. So now what hang on, I've got these other two bits. Let me just have a look at the card there. 1, 2, 3, that's done. Move those, and then these little expandy pieces. I'm not exactly sure what these are for yet. I'm assuming cable management. Going to slide in the top like that. Is that the deal? Doesn't really look like it wants to fit, which is a bit odd. Okay, and I've been interrupted by the bell. Sorry, interrupted by the door there. And I just came back. There's these little cable management clips. There's two sizes of them. So the bigger ones are going in the extended part, but it does mean that it doesn't close up as far when there's the extension. So I'm just going to leave one of those in there for now, I think. Pull the other one out. But I will put these two smaller ones. Ziggy, will you be quiet? I'm trying to shoot a video, darling. Hey, come on, give us a break. But this is a clever idea, very clever way of sorting out the cable management. Often with this kind of bar system, you wouldn't see that. So that's pretty smart indeed. So I'm going to start with it fully closed, I think, and there we go. That's the actual thing sorted. It's got Velcro on the top, which is great. It's also got Velcro on the bottom, which is going to be really good for holding power supply. I was going to use my gig rig generator as a starting point because that's what I generally use. I'm just slightly concerned that it's too big, and it is. It's actually the gig rig generator is too tall to fit under those, so I'd have to be put that on the top, which is a little annoying. So I'm going to try and figure out something else. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out something else for my power supply. Okay, so I need a thinner power supply than the gig rig. Okay, that's a bit of a bummer. And now my phone's going. This is like a competition of how to interrupt Justin while he's doing a filming. My oh my, I'm getting some interruptions today. Sorry about that. Not super professional. Hey, so I've got there now the two cable management things in the big part, nicely spaced. This bit's obviously expanding. So next I want to talk a bit about what I'm going to put on the board. So first thing I'm going to pop on is this thing. It's the Soul Press by Hotone. It's basically a wah-wah and a volume. It's got a little flicker on the side so I can put that. So my plan is to put that like right on the edge. That'll be where I plug the guitar in. I've got to get out of there. Now I'm going to put my Boss GT1000 core, which is like every Boss effects pedal ever, in the same box. And then the other pedal, which I use all the time, is a TC Electronic Ditto. And so I'm probably going to put that next to it. Now, straight away I start going, well, hang on, if I'm going to leave enough space for that cable to pop out of here, the where the looper button is just hanging off, like just hanging off the side of here a bit, and I definitely don't want that to be wobbling around when I'm not sure. Actually, it should be okay, I think. So the Hotone's already got the Velcro on, the Ditto's got Velcro on, so it's just really my Boss that needs it. So I'm just looking at where it needs it now. It's right at the top and right at the bottom. They do provide Velcro already, but I don't have scissors, of course. You can tell I don't do this kind of video that often. Hey, otherwise I'd be a bit better prepared. I'm not remembering my own advice there, the 5 Ps, which most of you might know from other videos. So let's pop in this Velcro on here, because I've got more to do yet. Because Diodario also, don't stick together, please. No, that's a goner. Okay. Fail 2. I'm full of failure today. What's happened? Okay, let me attempt that again. And hopefully the Velcro is not going to stick on itself, because that really sucks. And you never get it off. If you got good Velcro and it sticks to itself, I'm not going to let you do it this time. Okay. Nice little strip of that up the top there. That needs to be too small. Another bit from the bottom. Well, there's another bit from here stuck to my jumper. That's helpful as well. So I hope you're having a fantastic day out there watching this kind of stuff. Probably thinking about your own pedal board and what you're going to put on it. It's funny, this expanding pedal thing. When I first heard about it, when Diodario said, hey, we're doing this new pedal board and it's expanding, do you want one? I was like, yeah, I'm not really sure I need one. But actually thinking about it, it's actually a really, really good idea. Much better idea than I would have anticipated originally. Okay. So there we have those two nicely stuck on. Now, hang on. Before I stick that down, I'm going to grab this, put the cable in for the Hotone and make sure that that's in. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to put it in very easily later. So, we're on to the next stage. I should really face over here where I've got my little camera. Diodario also very kindly sent me this solderless pedal board kit. I've used various brands of pedal construction and pedal wiring over the years. So this is a completely new one on me, so not sure how it'll go or how easy it is. I've never ever used it before, so I guess we're going to find out pretty quickly how easy it is to use. Let's go for a couple of marks off this for the Velcro. Lots of big staples there ready to stab into my hand, which I was a bit nervous about. Okay, now it's falling out all over my seat. Okay, what have we got here? So they've given me a screwdriver with it as well. Do I need to unscrew that before I put the cable in? I probably do. We'll figure it out as we go along. Nice and small, gold tipped. And then, is this a cable cutter? I'm assuming this is some sort of cable cutter. Yeah, it does very much look like a cable cutter. So, let's just slice a bit off. Nice job with the cable cutter, Diodario. That is a smart idea. And then I assume, if it's like similar things that I've used before, we just poke it down deep inside as far as it'll go, and bend it to one side, and then screw it up. That's what I'm assuming is the right way, and then that screw's probably making the joint. Should probably have read about how to do it first. Yeah, cut the cable, loosen the screw, manage to get that one, push cable in with a twisting motion until it is fully seated, completely tighten the set screw, bend cable to desired angle up to 90 degrees. Okay, so I did all of that, I think. So let's just pop that in there now. And then that's the only sideways bit of cable. Now if I'm lucky, it is going to fit way. There we go. So the GT core sits on the end, the low tone and the looper, all of that is good. So now I just need to measure. There's the input. The input's right there, which is great. How much did I need to? Didn't really register how much cable I needed. So I'm going to err on slightly longer, and if I need to trim it back a bit later, I will. There you go. Trim that off. That's a clever design. I'm impressed with that. What's wrong, Ziggs? What's wrong, gal? You upset that I'm not playing with you today? Not so much. Okay, give it a good twist in as well. Make sure that the angle of that is where I want it. That's that thing. Should probably be screwing the little screw in before. Nice quality of that. It's got one of those pads on the end so you can keep the pressure on and wind it with the fingers. That's clever. There you go. Okay. That is all very easy indeed. Okay, well done, Diodario. 4 points for the system so far. Super nice and easy to use. So I'm going to wire it up in stereo. I very rarely run effects in stereos, but particularly with this Boss thing, what I found on some of the workshops was that I was using it plugged directly into the amplifier, and other times I was leaving it on the going directly into the PA. So that's why I thought I would do this way. There's the mono input 1 about there. This is going to be a very, very neat little cabling affair. I must say this is quite exciting. Very, very simple process here. We like that. The cable cutter idea in the box with all of this other stuff is really smart. The fact that I didn't have to go to my toolbox and get anything at all is a very, very clever thing. Okay, let's pull it down. Put it in the hole actually. There we go. Come on. Struggling a bit without my glasses. I have got a contact lens in, but evidently I could do with a bit more sight than that, it would appear. But where this is proving to be a very, very painless pedalboard build, I must say. This is working out pretty good. Screw that right on. I like the fact that the screws stop as well. So it's not much danger of over tightening. I'll probably one second input there. So the only other thing actually that I haven't done yet is of course the pedal power. So I'm going to have to explore that afterwards, I think, and figure out what's going to be the best way forward for the pedal power. Yeah, it's slightly frustrating that the Gig Rig one doesn't fit in there, because I really like the Gig Rig one, and I've got a few of those. That's somehow, why is that not? The screw wasn't quite out, that's why. There we go. Seated nicely. Give it a nice couple of winds in. There we go. About there. Oh, Ziggy, be quiet. And should I put it under or over? I can't decide. Probably under. And in we go. And that is actually all the wiring I need to do, which is like, that's actually pretty cool. The only thing that I haven't thought about is using this as an expression pedal. Then the cable would need to go all of the way to the end, so I'm probably not going to be using it as an expression pedal for the time being. To be honest, I hardly ever use it for that. I only ever use it as a wah. or a volume pedal. But I mean, this is a smart little build. And then of course, when I want to add my other pedals, so almost certainly when I'm doing teaching gigs, I end up putting a couple of other pedals on. Ziggy, would you mind? Would you mind? Things like the Boss EQ pedal, I quite often pop on the pedal board or take along just in case I need to change somebody's sound, if like students playing and it's not quite the right sound. This is the kind of, you can grab it and change the tone of it pretty quickly. I might have something like my King of Tone on there. I was just thinking a JHS Bonsai would be a great pedal to have on here for a Tube Screamer thing. I'm just thinking like that just closes up like perfectly, like the width of that here for this. This is like, I don't think I could have planned that to be any more perfect as a little mini travel board. It's, you know, relatively light. These pedals themselves are pretty heavy. I hadn't done up those catches, but that's really working. The only thing I guess I have to do is try and figure out my power, a very narrow little power supply to go on underneath here. That's the only thing yet to be sorted out. What are these things for? I wonder. There's some kind of screwy outy bits, but I don't know what they're. Don't know exactly what they're for. Maybe for it's for expanding the height of the pedal, the back pedals. Oh, they're full of cleverness. The peeps at Diodario. So if you're on a slightly uneven floor or whatever, you can adjust the back feet of the pedal sets. For the pedal supply, power supply. Maybe. I don't know. I need to explore that a little bit more. I think I need to, explore my pedal options. I mean, I haven't even had to use the cable management here underneath, which I'll probably use it for the power, but the power's just going to sneak in through those little holes, I think, and just run through. It's going to be a very neat little board. So super happy with this. That's it. My opinion on this Diodario Expand, really good. Surprised it didn't come assembled, but it didn't take long to put it together. Great idea. The concept of the opening expandable pedal board, I think, is much better than I initially thought it was going to be when they told me about it. Their solderless wiring kit, very clever, and the fact that it came with the screwdriver and this genius little cutter thing, amazing. It was, you know, you saw how simple it was just to measure the cable up, poke it in, and screw the thing up, and that was it. This is a really, really effective little kit. So thank you for sending me the pedal board, Diodario. Definitely put it on your list if you're going to look for a pedal board, particularly people new to the pedal game, because if you didn't realize, it's a bit addictive and you're very likely to end up buying more and more pedals. So having an expandable one kind of alleviates that problem of buying one that's too small and then keeping on running out of space. And like I said, it'll definitely be easier for me to travel with that than it would be if I had bought either, if I can reach under there, if my pedal board was that long, it's already probably pushing it to fit in my suitcase. And when they're deeper as well, like the big square ones, that also creates problems usually for me on a storage thing. But this will definitely be good for even for my acoustic workshops, because the GT1000's got some great sounds for acoustic guitar, and having the looper there and the volume just to turn the thing off. This is a really nice little pedal board. I'm super stoked about this. I just need to sort out the power, which I'll do in another video, because I'm going to have to go and research a little bit and then buy myself another power supply. Cool. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks again, Diodario. I'll see you for plenty more videos very soon. Y'all take care of yourselves. Bye bye.